You know, Gina, I'll have to admit something. When I saw this new Writing with Ease covers, my first reaction was I did not like it at all.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
You
it
were
was
cute.
like,
You vehemently disliked them.
Yes, very much. But you know why I think it is? Well, I'm an old person also, but because I thought, oh my gosh, what if they changed? It looks completely different on the outside. It is engaging.
Understandable.
Yeah, but I kind of freaked out a little bit.
I like the covers, by the way. I think they're cute.
So tell me, what changed?
Well, when I started digging into this program and looking at it, I just loved it. It's not the way that I learned to write, but I love the process that she uses. And the whole goal of the program is basically to teach kids how to put their ideas into words and then put those words onto paper.
Such a needed skill today.
It is.
Right?
And they do this through narration, copywork, and dictation. So kids learn to think about important details of the story, not just, oh, she was wearing a purple shirt or whatnot.
Right.
So the author of Writing with Ease by Susan Wise Bauer, she talks about how writing isn't a natural process for young kids. So it's not like speaking. It's like a foreign language almost. So they need to learn.
A lot involved.
Yeah, so they need to learn the rules of writing, a beginning writer, and she breaks it down into very doable steps, so they can learn to practice this process until it becomes just second nature to them.
Yeah.
Right. So they do this. The parents reading an excerpt from the story,
Okay.
and then they're asking students questions, and the student should answer in complete sentences. And the parent writes down what the student answers, and they choose one sentence for copywork in level 1. In levels 2 and 3, they progress from copywork to dictation and more complex narration. So that's really important because students begin to picture in their minds before writing it down, and that visual is such an important part of the program. So they can think about it in a complete sentence, and then it goes down on paper.
So they're writing in the level 2. The students are starting to write them down.
More
More so.
dictation.
Oh,
they're
they're
still
dictating.
copying.
Okay.
Copywork.
Not yet.
But, yeah, copywork and dictation both comes in level 2. So.
Okay.
I really appreciated. I listened to a little bit of Susan Wise Bauer way back when talking about this program. And I was so encouraged to hear that her goal with the program, one of the big goals, is to really break it down like you were saying, because she said, yeah, there are some of our kids who just take off writing,
Right.
and they may not need this program.
Sure.
But there are so many kids today that you ask them to write something and it's like, what do you want me to do? It's like they're allergic to their pencil all of a sudden, and they don't
can't
know what
think
to
of
say.
anything.
They can't think of anything.
There's too many things going on in the writing process,
Right.
actually.
So she talks about how you're breaking it down into these 2 separate skills. So the one skill is helping them to think about what are some things I could write and how can I put that into words. That alone is a big step for some kids.
It really is.
And then on the other hand, you're teaching them to just learn to get words on paper. And as they get used to both of those tracks, then we can put them together.
It connects.
And they're able to do that so much easier after practicing again and again and again. And it kind of hit home with me because I did have a student that was one of those that you asked him to write anything and he was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I have nothing to say.
Deer in the headlights.
And I just thought, why is this so hard? I never really struggled with it.
Right.
And it made so much sense to me that we are asking them to combine a lot of steps that we don't really take time to break apart. And this program really does that well.
It does.
So what else is different besides the covers? The beautiful covers.
Yes, they are beautiful. So basically, it has the same content. Level 1 does have a story that's been changed out, but the only thing that's changed is they have added a 5th day, and that's a creative writing assignment. And it's totally optional.
Which is fun.
So there's that creative writing on day 5, and otherwise the content is basically the same. Some people might ask, okay, I have this old teacher-student guide. Can I just pick up the revised student pages and use that? You could, but the pages wouldn't line up very well. And
it might make a little extra work for you. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
And a lot of people also ask, okay, so there's this guy.
You need this.
The complete writer, and then these 3 levels. So this gives you a big picture or a big overview of the Writing with Ease program. It's philosophy, and this is for parents who need that big picture.
Right.
It gives you a guide for using this in 4 years. It gives you a few scripted lessons, and then the nice thing about this is that if you have history or science or other programs that you're wanting to bring in that narration and dictation, you can choose your own literature.
Just with this guy.
Right, right. So, and the literature is all already done for you. These are all scripted, open and go.
Okay. That's why it's called Complete.
Right.
Here.
So the Complete has the teacher, the student, everything in one, and that's really all you would have to have then to
Exactly.
do the program.
Necessarily.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want this, it's a great resource. You don't have to have it to do the
Yeah.
program.
Okay.
This is so easy to use, very open and go, scripted.
Yeah.
Teacher pages are on the front, student pages are on the back.
Okay.
So
So that's making me think as you're talking about our icons. And I love our icons. We hear a lot about those at,
Sure,
when we go to convention, that people love that because it really gives people a snapshot of what a curriculum is about in just a few little pictures.
Very helpful.
And they're on our website too.
Right, website catalog. And so I was thinking about what we have for this, and I know that we have a medium level of teacher involvement, and we were talking about that earlier. And I think it's one of those unique curriculum where it's a very low level of teacher prep. Like you're not
Right.
doing anything to prep ahead of time. You're just opening
Once
and
you understand
Especially
what you're
the
doing.
the philosophy. So you open it up, everything is scripted, it's there for you. You know the exact questions you're going to be asking your child. You can just open it, sit down and go. But you are going to be very involved in the lesson, right? So you're
That's
going to
a
be
very good point.
asking your child questions and helping them learn to be able to narrate back to you what they took away from that passage.
Right,
and so you're very involved, but you don't have any prep, which is
Right.
an interesting combination, but it should make it easy for parents.
And
that
you've
want to
got
do
a
this.
lot of help in here. So
do.
you're not having to come up with those answers on your own.
Right.
Right.
The other thing I was thinking about with our icons is the approach. And so this is one where I was a little confused. You guys know that I've done classical. My background's kind of with classical. And when I first was looking at this, I was thinking, okay, now how is this classical? I'm trying to wrap my brain around it
Right.
because I'm hearing a lot of
The same
narration
terms that
and
are in
dictation.
Charlotte Mason,
Which
right?
we use in Charlotte Mason. And I realized as I looked into it more, it really is classical in the approach that with classical in the grammar stage, as you're laying that foundation, you are really building these very step-by-step foundational skills into kids that seem repetitive at times, but the goal is to make it so automatic that they have this
Yes.
framework that they can use for the rest of their lives.
Right.
And she does an excellent job of that, of
She
really
really
teaching them to take their thoughts, put it into words, and be able to put it on paper, doing it with
by
ease.
step by
Right.
step.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for everybody. Some people might be scared away. Oh, it's classical, but it's
Yeah.
really, it's such a great program.
Such
to
a
use
great program,
to pick up
especially
anyone.
for any student that is struggling to be able to think of what to
Right.
say.
Exactly.
Don't you think? I was also thinking as we were talking about it that it would be a really good discipline for students. Like if you have students that struggle with what they just heard, you
Right.
read a story and they're struggling to comprehend it. This is training them to have the mental discipline to listen very carefully and then to be able to give back to you what they're
Right.
hearing. And
So that is great because it's auditory and visual. You're
Yeah.
hearing it, and then you've got to
Right.
visualize that complete sentence before writing it.
And you're exposing them to great literature too.
You are.
which is all
simultaneously, so
included in, right? So
Right.
you're not needing any separate
Don't
books or
get-
anything.
Exactly.
It's all in there,
That's
which is
convenient.
nice.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
I like that a lot.
A lot of people might ask, where did level 4 go? Well, the publisher.
Because this is level 3, and it's
It
gonna change too.
It is. Next summer, 2025, look for it.
Okay.
So level 4, the publisher decided that 3 levels are probably enough.
Okay.
However,
good.
some families still want level 4. They have provided a PDF to purchase on their website, the
Oh,
Walter
nice.
Mind.
Okay, so it's still available, just not in a book format.
Right. Or you
Okay.
could do the level 3 in 2 years.
And draw it out.
Right.
Or if you really, really liked it and wanted to keep going, you could use that handbook and just create your own
That's a really
material.
good point.
Yeah.
So what's after this?
So they
does
have a
it lead
writing with
to?
skill program.
Okay.
But if you're not quite ready for that, they do recommend a couple of different things. There's an intro to composition by
Okay,
Memorial
this is
Press.
Memorial Press is
Right.
cool.
And
All right,
that works on narration, dictation, beginning, outlining through children's literature, or by Donna Jenny Killigan. This is sentence composing for elementary school, and this analyzes and imitates good sentences, also following the classical model. There's one for middle school as well. So
So these would
things
be
can
good to bridge you
practiced.
into the writing with
Exactly.
skill if they're
Right.
not quite ready.
Yes,
Okay. Nice to
absolutely.
know some products that
Yeah.
are good for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Could you do this these without doing the writing with these?
Oh,
Kinda
sure.
if you want to go to the next level.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. Very good. So I'm digging this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unique. I feel like there's really not anything else quite like it. And I just think it would appeal to classical, but also Charlotte Mason
Yes.
and anybody whose child
I see the value.
is struggling to get words
Yep.
on paper.
And those covers are a lot more kid
Well,
friendly.
I mean, Ruth, if you were a kid, which cover would you prefer?
Okay, I had to put that hat on. Yeah.
I mean, this one just looks like a lot more fun.
Yes, exactly. So we love talking about writing and language arts skills, and we end up doing it a lot.
Yeah.
We do.
Every day
We
because
do,
it's
all the
a
time.
skill that takes a lot of time, and when we're familiar with it, it's hard to know how to teach our kids that. So,
Yes.
we love talking about it. Give us a call and or put some questions in the chat below.
We've also got some really good videos we could direct them to that might be a good follow-up for this.
Yeah, so we have a language arts
Yep.
video, and there's a particular building brick that's really helpful for
Making
that.
sure you have all the components.
And did you have another one in
Well,
mind?
I was thinking about the family way, thinking that goes through our icons and kind of helps
that's
people
true.
to make sure that they're understanding how to just decipher our curriculum very quickly with those icons.
Oh, and also, well, to remind the publisher has different scenarios of how to use this and their Writing with Skill program.
Okay.
And we have a
We'll
PDF
include
of that on our website
okay,
as well.
we can link that. Awesome.
Very good. I need all the help I can get. All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you later.